Hi, Unified 9. I hope you're doing well. I miss you and hope to see you soon. Remember to please email me if you have any questions. I'm also thinking about doing a couple days a week where I'll be available through Zoom. So I've got to learn how to use that, and then I will let you know. I'll email that to you. So as we are looking at our fourth set of notes on sequences and series, today we're going to start talking about arithmetic series. And so I have posted a link so you could print these notes out. If you don't have a printer, that's okay. Do remember that you learn better by writing things down, and if I tell you to pause the video and think about some things, do that as well, because we don't want to lose those critical thinking skills you guys have. And we want to make sure we're using our brains to think things through and problem solve, even though we're not in the classroom together. So we, over the last couple weeks, have been talking about sequences. And we know sequence are a list of numbers that have a pattern to them. So you can see here that we're looking at all the integers from 1 to 10. So I have written out that sequence. And it's arithmetic because we know it has a common difference of 1, so we would say equals 1. We also know that it can be modeled by a linear function, by a line. So then we're introducing this word series, which we've talked just a little bit about, but it's been a while ago. And so what is a series? And so maybe we'll come over here and write this down. So a series is just the sum of a sequence. A series is the sum of a sequence, and we represent that with a capital N, or capital S, with a subscript of N. So you can see that really I just took those commas and changed them to addition signs. And so I have created the series where I'm adding the numbers 1 through 10, and so notice S sub 10, and what that is indicating is that there are 10 terms in this series. It's not indicating the last term, it's saying that there are 10 terms. And so I'm going to skip on down to the second one here. It says, what's the sum of all the even integers from 2 to 20? So once again, I wrote out the list of the sequence. It's arithmetic, and we know it's arithmetic because our common difference is 2. I changed all the commas to addition signs, and when I did that, I have made a series. And notice I use the indication, or I use the notation capital S sub 10 because there's 10 terms in this series. And then we're going to talk about all the integers from 1 to 100. And no, I didn't write all those out. Notice I just used ... That means the pattern continues. It's arithmetic because our common difference is 1. I changed all the commas to addition signs. And so there are 100 terms in that series, so I use S of 100. So what I want you to do is I want you to actually pause this video for a few moments, and I want you to think about how you can find the sum. So go find the sum of all these without a calculator. And I want to encourage you to look for some patterns in this. So again, pause the video, and then I want you to think about how you can find the sum of these pretty quickly. Hopefully you paused the video and you took a few moments to think about and to work through how you could find the sum of these in an efficient and quick manner. By the way, if you hear a video playing in the background, my boys are watching Toy Story 3, so I'm trying to occupy them with a Toy Story as I'm making this video. So I'm assuming that a lot of you probably noticed a pattern, and so instead of just adding 1 plus 2 and saying that's 3, and then 3 plus 3 is 6, and then 6 plus 4, and so on, you probably looked for some pairs. And I'm guessing some of you may have done patterns of 10 or pairs of 10 in this first one. You may have done patterns of 20 in the second one. And so in the third one, I'm not sure what you would have done. And there's also another pattern that you might have looked at. So there's also another pattern you might have looked at. You may have said 1 plus 10 is 11. 2 and 9 is 11. 3 plus 8 is 11. 4 plus 7 equals 11. And 5 plus 6 equals 11. So notice that if we have our start on the ends and work our way to the middle, we have a whole bunch of pairs that add to 11. And so we know that we take 11, and how many of those pairs do we have? We have 5 of them. So we end up getting 55. As I look at example 2, we can see the same thing happens. 2 plus 20, 22. 22. 22. 22. 22. So we have 22 how many times? Well, how many pairs do we have that give us 22? We have 5 pairs. So that gives us 110. Okay, so let's look at the next one. So same idea, 1 and 100 is 101, 101, 101, and so on. So how many pairs would we have that add to 101? Well, by now, you've probably seen how we can find the number of pairs we have quickly. So if I go back to example 1, how did we get 5 pairs? We had 10 terms in all, so 10 over 2 is 5. How did we get 5 pairs? We had 10 terms in all, so 10 over 2 is 5. How many pairs will we have here? Well, we have 100 in all, terms in all, which means that we would have 50 terms. So we have 101 50 times, which means we get a sum of 5,050. That leads us to how we can quickly find the sum of an arithmetic series. And so we know that if we take our first term and our last term, that's going to be the sum of every pair. Well, how many pairs will we have? We can calculate that by taking the number of terms we have in all and dividing it by 2. And so when we do that, that's our sum. That's our sum. So this is just kind of some vocabulary for us to look at. As we're looking forward, we have 2 types of series. We have finite, which means that there's a set number of terms in that series. And notice this isn't arithmetic. This is actually the Fibonacci sequence, but we could still find the sum. An infinite series means that we're adding more and more and more and more, and they go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever together. So we're going to turn the page and look at example 1 here. So it says find the sum of the series. So right off the bat, let me just write my formula. S sub n will equal the number of pairs times the sum of the first plus the sum of the last. And I'm going to fill in all the information I know. So I do know A1 is 3. I know the last term is 783. What I don't know yet is how many terms that is. And so if I don't know how many terms, I can't find my number of pairs. So I need to come to the side, really, and I need to have some work to find n. Well, here's what I need to remember. I know that arithmetic series comes from arithmetic sequences. So I know this sequence, I can go back and look, has a common difference of 3. I know the first term has a value of 3. And I know that the last term, a sub n, has a value of 783. So I actually have ordered pairs. Since arithmetic sequences are represented by lines, oops, I wrote this wrong. Back up. This should be n, comma, 783. 783 is the value of a sub n. Sorry about that. Since I know arithmetic sequences can be modeled by lines, I can use that information to solve for n, because we know lines follow point slope formula. So I can take change in y's, so 783 minus 3 will equal m, your slope or your common difference, times the change in your x's. And here our x's will be n minus 1. And again, that comes from our explicit formula. I'll write that up here just so we can make sure that we see it. So I use the ordered pair 1, 3, and the slope of 3. So I need to go ahead and solve this. And once I do, I'll end up finding that n is 261. So that tells me that in this series, there are 261 terms. I can now go back and plug 261 into my formula. And yes, this would be S sub 261. And certainly you can use your calculator here to find the sum. And so the sum is 102,573. Example number 2 is very similar. So it's very similar. So again, let's write down what we know. I know I'm looking for S sub n. I don't know n yet. I'm going to find that, so I can't find how many pairs. I know the first term is 1 and the last term is 361. So I have to do a little work. I have to find what n is, and so in order to do that, I'm going to come to the side because I can figure out that my common difference is 3. I know that we have the ordered pair. The first term is 1, and the nth term is 361. Once again, by using point slope formula, I can find n. So 361 minus 1 equals d, which is 3, n minus 1. And so with a little arithmetic, n is 121. Therefore, I can now go back and find the sum of the first 121 terms. And so I plug that into my formula, and yes, you can use your calculator. I'm getting 21,901 as the sum. So this would be a good chance for you to stop the video for a few moments, see if you can do example 3, 4, and 5 on your own. Again, that's going to help you the most. Pausing video, seeing what you can come up with. So go ahead and pause it, work on 3, 4, and 5. And then once you're ready, you think you have your answers, you can play the video back again. So let's look at number 3. First off, we need to make sure this is arithmetic. And so if you remember your properties of logs, so if you have log base 3 of 2 and you add log base 3 of 2, your log property says that when you're adding logs of the same base, you can write that as multiplication. So this is log base 3 of 2 times 2, which is log base 3 of 4. Then if you have log base 3 of 4 plus log base 3 of 2, that is going to be log base 3 of 8. So we can see that it is indeed arithmetic, and so we can continue with finding what we need here. So it says find the sum. Once again, I don't know n. I do know a1, and I do know a sub n. So I'm going to have to do a little side work to find n before I can continue here. So I know that the first term is log base 3 of 2, and the nth term is log base 3 of 2048, and I know the common difference is log base 3 of 2. So I've got to use point slope here. So changing y's, log base 3 of 2048 minus log base 3 of 2 equals the common difference times n minus 1. Now, do you guys remember your rule for division or for subtraction of two logs? You can write that as division of a single log. So I can write this as log base 3 of 2048 divided by 2. So let's see, that gives us what? 1024 equals. Now, do you remember the other properties of logs? Here we're multiplying, so it might help you if you write this as n minus 1 times log base 3 of